you've just watched me break down the tent and all that. It's Saturday, 3rd of May, election day for Australia. I've already voted. Now we're heading out of Karralee Rock and we're going to first Karralee, where I'll do a little bit of shopping, and then I will go on to Niagara Dam. Anyway, beautiful morning. Got about 5 k's of this road out of Karralee Rocks, and then we're on to the highway. It's 7:25 in the morning, and it looks like we're here's an abandoned car. Or is it? Well, I've just been shopping in Woolworths Karralee, and I can see how people are complaining about the cost of living. The prices in there are absolutely atrocious. Whew. Unbelievable. Anyway, we're now heading through here, through Hannon Street to the end, and then off to the left and out towards Menzies. I'll get out of town, and then I will stop somewhere along the way and have my cup of coffee, because I've only had my coffee from this morning. And I'm looking around because I thought you know, there'd be people out. I would have thought they would have had voting places and stuff, but I did pass a big park earlier on coming in, and there were an awful lot of cars, and they had sausage sizzles and stuff, so I wonder whether they are having their voting boxes down somewhere down there. So once again we come to this intersection, Menzies and Leonora to the left and Kambalda down to the right. Well, we'll go to the left. Nothing coming, off we go. Those who have watched previous videos will probably be a little bit familiar with this particular stretch of road. We've done it a number of times now. Here's some of the outback truckers. Oh, he's a bit over the edge. He's trying to do a U-turn. Sorry, mate. There's a stack of them back there on in the parking area. Well, we're about 85 k's outside of Menzies, and I can tell you it is extremely hot in this cabin. I'm purposely not running the air conditioner, although I think I'm going to have to break soon. It's very warm outside too. I don't know what the temperature is. I've got no way of knowing it in here. Actually, that's what I should have bought in Woolworths, a thermometer. Anyway, as you can see ahead, sky's a little bit cloudy with a couple of... Oh, what's that? Somebody's map. I thought it was a snake. Not many clouds in the sky. Over to the right there's a little band of cloud, but as I say, blue skies and very warm. Outback truckers! 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 trailers. Up in Karralee, which was 152 kilometres back, and it was averaging 9.63 kilometres per litre when I filled it up there. So that's not bad. That's not bad at all. nearly 50 k's to get to the campsite. Off to the left you might see a little bit of smoky haze, and that's Glencore Mining, I believe, have been burning off prescribed burns. I don't know when they did it. What we're seeing is the wind is whipping little willies up. I don't know why they need a prescribed burn in this country. It seems a bit silly, really. It's a sad indictment of Australians that when you look at the side of the road, you'll see all these little shiny bits. There's pieces of glass and bottles and all manner of rubbish just littering the side of the road. And in some areas it's worse than others. Can't all be the crows raiding the bloody rubbish bins. Has to be people just chucking their rubbish and bottles out the window as they drive on. Okay, we're about to enter Mingus, or Menzies. And I think what I might do is pull up and make a cup of tea, and have a little bit of something to eat. I don't have very far to go to my next campsite, so I can certainly afford a bit of time. It's whether I can find just that little bit of shade in the town. There's the museum. We've been there before. I showed you on previous videos. No trains coming. Because I've been going, oh yeah, there's trees outside there, that's right, I do remember this. So we can find a tree underneath, next to the museum here. Site number 6, Menzies. I'll go to this one. And at least we get a little bit of shade. Not much happening in Menzies today. Anyway, big piece of equipment. What's this? Crane. Yep, a crane. Alright, well we've left Mingus and we're heading to Niagara Dam at Karralee. Right, well I've just turned off the highway onto the road into Karralee. The Niagara Dam campsite is about 16 k's, and Karralee, which is an old and defunct mining town, is 29, I think they said. Anyway, we're going to go to the Niagara Dam. For those who are interested, this is also part of the Golden Quest Discovery Trail, which takes him, it's all about the goldfields and the historic areas around the goldfields of WA. And we went to Sandstone a little while back, and those towns around there, all part of this Golden Quest Discovery Trail. Look it up online if you're interested. Ooh, change of road surface now. Complete with a sign. Coming up to a squiggly bit. railway line is coming up. With a stop sign. Look for trains. Better do the right thing. Legally, you must stop, which is what I am doing. I've come to a complete stop. I'm looking left, I'm looking right. I'm looking right again and left again, and there's no trains coming, and here I go. We-ha. And apparently I'm about 2.5 kilometres from Niagara Dam. Not Niagara Falls, Niagara Dam. There's been some water across the road here through the last few months, apparently. This is this nice, interesting country. Railway line here at the side. About 750 metres from the turn-off. I see a sign.
Turn right on Niagara Dam.
Just hang on to your hat in there, Karen. Here's a sign. We will be turning to the right. How far in is it, little one? Does it tell me? Does it tell me? Historic attractions ahead. Niagara Dam 3 Ks. Kukaini, a living ghost town, 9 kilometres. Okay. Well, we're going first to here. 3 kilometres up this road. Righto. Welcome to Niagara. Okay. Well, we haven't been up this one before. So we'll keep the GoPro going. No, we won't. We'll turn it back on. Well, we've arrived at the dam. And I had a little bit of a reconnoitre, but I was going to go over there, just where you see that Land Rover, when I sort of decided that I'd better come back down this is what they call the lower camping area. And just as I was going to go over there, this guy just pulled right in with his trailer, obviously knew where he was going, pulled right round, and now he sat down there. So I'm sort of left with the can't say it's the dregs, but I'll set up here. I'm only here one night anyway. So, but this is the point. This is what happens. People just come in, bang, straight away. Anyway, we'll set this up. Well, I have the basics set up now, and I'm glad I did. And that fella that was over there, it turns out you can't camp there anyway. It's like a water bay or something. There's water there. I've set this up because blowing from this direction is quite a strong wind, so apart from the flies not being able to get in, which they're going to follow me in anyway, and I'm set up here. Okay, right, complete with essential in this hot weather. I did buy fly spray today. Let me just check this video. Oh, I didn't. Well, I can't remember when I think I left about 7:30, or it might have been a little bit earlier. It's now 20 minutes past 2, so we'll work that out when I do the editing. And that's not bad because it was about 367 kilometres, I think, to get here, which is Niagara Dam. And I think I have about another 168 or something to get to Laverton. And then I start on the Great Central Road, which is what, 1100 and something kilometres across to Alice, or to Ulara, I think. Anyway, we'll work that out. I'm going to have a beer, so cheers to me. Well, let's go and have a little look at this Niagara Dam. We'll go down to the bottom end first. I hope this wind noise is not bothering this microphone. Well, I'm glad I didn't camp over here. Now I know what the guy was doing. It's the dump point. I'm laughing. Here was me thinking, oh, that'd make a nice camping spot there. Look at that. Right next to the shit box. Dump easy. Okay, so all these signs say road closed, and I guess that means trespassers keep out. Do not enter. Oh, and have a look. Road closed, and there's campers over there through the trees. People just don't bloody well follow signs. Well, I must say I should have probably had a little bit more thorough reconnoitre, because here's this little place. Mind you, I wouldn't have camped under that tree there because it looks like it's going to fall. The branch was going to fall. Anyway, not a bad little spot. I'll turn around and show you what I'm walking away from here. Over there, you can see in the background the road closed sign. How those people got in there, I don't know. They must have moved the sign. Well, the story of the Niagara Dam, briefly. In 1895, John Forrest, I think the Premier of WA at the time, got on his horse and pulled a buggy as well and did a tour of the goldfields, and he came back realising that one of the most important things for the goldfields would be some sort of water catchment. And in that vein, this particular area here, which was known to the Aboriginal people as a soak, or let me rephrase that, it was a source of water. Anyway, the dam was commissioned in 1895, 96 or whatever, and it was completed in 1897. And apparently the cameleer, an Afghan cameleer, brought all the cement up for this thing from Kalgoorlie. And it's a pretty big feat. Have a look at it. And it's estimated to hold, when it's full, it's estimated to hold 30 million gallons. 30 million gallons. And here's these people. This is a lower campsite. They must have driven around somehow or other. How did they get there? I don't know. People just go exploring and do their own thing. But anyway, look at that. And that's where the water will go if they let water out of it. This is the lower area. Oh, there's a fancy looking mechanism. Probably for a sluice gate. Oh, listen to him. And have a look at this. Plenty of water. Birds love it. There's a swallow. A few swallows. Look at that. Okay. And over here, this is a country that they built this dam in. Here are these walls again to direct the water when it does rain. You can actually see this now. You can see when the water falls, water falls. And that's actually why the name Niagara was given to this dam. It's a wry Australian humour. Like when the rains come, this apparently is the waterfall. So they named it. But you can see these walls here, these little walls, and that directs the water when it falls, it flows. Look at that. Now I was going on at these people, but there's a lot, and there is actually another set of toilets down here. For goodness sake, how the hell they put signs up that says road closed? How did they get in there? Did they just drive past the road? I'm going to have a look. That annoys me because I'm parked out there on my Pat Malone in the wind on a rocky dance thing, and there's all this down here. It's my fault, I should have come and had a look. But I'm too law-abiding, see? I see a sign and I say, oh, you're not allowed to go there. But nobody else gives a shit. It's pretty spectacular though, isn't it? When you look at it. Oh, I'm getting the shine off the water there. I am. Well, this is the day use area. And I was just talking to those fellas who were down below, and I said, oh, how did you get down there? And they said, oh, I said, I saw the road and it had a road closed sign. He said, oh no, he said, there's another one further over, which is not really evident. And it's a beautiful little campsite down there. Anyway, I'm camped and it's only one night, so I'm not really particularly bothered. I've set it all up now. I'll just be on my Pat Malone. A lovely little site down there, a few of them, certainly out of the wind, which would have suited, but then you live and learn. And as they're going prospecting, they normally go prospecting around the Murchison, which is where I was with Merv French and the boys last year. Anyway, so this is the road down to where I am camped. So they must have driven, I see, I think there is another road between that, the branches, the fork of that tree over there, I think is the other road. I must have missed that. I didn't even notice it, because there's the yellow sign near the dump point. And there's the beast in all its glory. Ah, that'll do. I'm not worried. I'll have rougher camps than this over the Great Central. It's about 6:15 in the morning on Sunday, the 4th of May. It's just before sunrise. That's my lens cap. I'm just going to set this thing on fire so that I can boil some water for coffee. It only has a few little twigs that I've just picked up from around here, and I put some pellets in. Okay, that is full. Oh, fuck, that is hot. Shit, of course it's hot. I didn't think it was quite going as well as it is. See? Leave them alone. Last night I had this going to heat the water for my, I had a curry, and I loaded it with quite a lot of twigs and things from here, and it just roared off. This morning I have kept the number of twigs right back to a minimum, because otherwise it'll burn for quite some time. We're starting to get a few bubbles now. You'll notice I put a wooden top on my old billy, because as you saw before, you touch all this stuff and it's hot. But I've got my gloves out. You can see that it's got a good burn going now, gasifying. There she goes. What you might call a mini campfire. That water is hot enough for actually to drink my coffee, but I'll see how long it takes just to get this whole thing to a rolling boil. Well, I'll see how long. I didn't time it. It'll be about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, the sun won't be long before it rises above the horizon over there. I'll do me for a coffee. Oh yeah, plenty hot. Now we'll give it a test. This is my eggs from the other day that were frozen. We'll see if the pan is hot enough to get some omelette. Because that pan might be a little bit too heavy for this particular burner, but I'm not sure. This is all experimental, folks. I think I'm going to have to load it with a few more twigs somehow. Well, I put a few more little twigs in it, and now it's starting to come together like an omelette should. In fact, yeah, that's good. It'll actually be more scrambled eggs than an omelette. But I don't care. Scrambled eggs is scrambled eggs. And there's a lot in here. There's probably half a dozen eggs in here. I didn't intend to do the whole thing, but the fact that they had been frozen, I figured I'd better use them. Unfortunately, I don't have any more eggs for my trip until I get to, well, maybe Laverton. I can. It'll be a hearty breakfast anyway. Still plenty of heat in there. There's no seasoning in this, so I think I'll get a salt and pepper. Bit of salt, bit of pepper, beautiful. Okay, I'd say that's ready. Oh yeah, that'll be done. Good enough for me. So, we shall plate up. I don't think I'll need any toast or anything with this. Now, the taste test. Oh yeah. That's pretty good. And just as I finish that, here comes the sun. It's actually just through those trees. It'll be hitting this lens in a tick. In fact, I'll help you out. Sunrise. Well, I just had an experience that I've never had before when I've been camping. During the night I could hear some scraping sounds inside the tent, and I actually thought it was the wind, but I got up to have a look, and in the dark, I didn't take a torch or anything, in the dark I could hear just a little scurry. I thought, oh, that's probably just the wind. So I zipped it up. I had it open to the wall, to the car, and I went back to bed. Anyway, I'm mucking around here this morning and I'm getting changed, and I thought, okay, and I put my boots on, so I put my right boot on. That was fine. I lifted my left boot and a mouse jumped out of the damn boot. It was right in my boot. And now that I notice, I see little bits of mouse poop on here. So it was a mouse, a field mouse, that was running around inside that tent. And that was what was making the noise. It's amazing. Anyway, you live and learn. Well, I'm just taking it easy this morning. I only have about 200 or so k's to go to my next campsite, which will probably be on the Great Central Road. I'm not supposed to be there until tomorrow, but I think it's just before we get into the lands, the Aboriginal lands. So I'm just taking it easy. It's now 20 past 8. As you can see, I've been mucking around all morning, cooking and doing all sorts of stuff. So, in no great rush. I guess I'm getting into the swing of it by now.